Me and my son are just checking out these JAZZY scooters I grabbed on the side of the road. I had actually had a couple of projects that I was looking at, and they actually required the motors out of these, and they're not cheap. They're about $100 a piece. So finding a set of these on the side of the road is a pretty big score. So the lady said that the batteries in these were dead. So I'm going to try my technique of hooking up dead batteries to a good battery to kind of level the voltage off, and then charge the dead battery, see if we can bring any of these batteries back to life, see if we can get any of these things running before spending any money on them. Let's give it a shot. So we got the batteries here, but they won't take a charge. Just get an error. And the reason for that is because they only got a few volts in them. So I'm going to use a technique I use, which is hooking it to a good battery, letting the voltages even out, which should pump this up enough to get that to see the battery and start getting some voltage in it. So let's give that a shot. Okay, we've got a good deep cycle battery here. And now if we test the actual battery terminals on this, I've got 13 volts at the terminals. So if we leave this sitting at 13 volts for a while, this should get enough voltage to get this started. Okay, we've had this hooked up for like an hour or so, not very long. So we're going to go ahead and unhook one of these. And then we're going to check our battery voltage again. And we've got 8 volts. That's a lot closer to 12. So now, let's try hooking up our charger. 1, 2. Boom. No error. So now it'll start charging. I'll show you that in a second. It takes 30 seconds or so for this to actually start charging. So, clockwise. Okay, here you can see now it's charging. Connected, it's charging, and if you can see, it's 9.9 volts, so about 10 volts. So, even though it already says it's on 100%, that's letting you know that it's good as it's going to be. So we're just going to see how much power we can get out of it. If it was down here at 10 volts and it was down at 50, then you'd know there was a lot more left to go, but there's not a whole lot left that it's going to be able to put in that, but we'll still give it a shot. And then the other battery's filling now off of this battery. Okay, we're going to hit this with some super clean foaming degreaser to get rid of all this grossness, especially on the controller where it's been used for years and sitting outside for a long time. Get this thing all cleaned up, and then batteries should be done soon. We can pop them in and see whether this thing works. Give that a minute to soak in and work, and then we'll hit it with some of the blue towels. Now the second battery is doing a lot better. I don't know if you can see that, but it's at 11 volts and it's still going with half an amp. So we'll leave this one on the charger a little longer. So I did finally get this thing going. First thing we had to do is swap out a couple of batteries. The other ones wouldn't go above 10 or 11 volts, and this thing needs at least 22 volts to get going good. So we put in rigged up two batteries just to see whether it worked. The last thing that I couldn't get it to run afterwards, it was giving me some flashing lights, and it was locked out, which it won't unlock when it's freewheeling like this. You actually need to have it locked with these lock levers so that the wheels are actually locked up, and then you can go through your joystick unlock procedure, and then it'll stop flashing lights and actually give you some motion. So now that it's in, we should be able to oh wait, I unplugged it. Okay, so now let's slap this seat on. Okay. Thing works pretty good. Show you a test drive. Climb the hill with my driveway. Oh, heck yeah, no problem. That's pretty awesome. One of the reasons I wanted to keep this hooked up to its original controls and control module is I could pump 24 volts to these, and these also have a lock that you also have to apply voltage to unlock them so that you can drive them. But it would be so abrupt, you wouldn't get this nice smooth acceleration and deceleration that the control module offers. So if I do decide to hack this chair into something like a small tank, like in this video that I plan on recreating, make sure you're subscribed so you can see any updates on this project. But I didn't want to have just the on-off controls, and if you watch this video you can see they're actually struggling with their controls. So this control unit will have full mobility and even a decent speed. with no added cost. So I really think this is the way to go if you can get your hands on a full functioning chair. So that's it for this project. If you like this video, make sure you're subscribed so you can see updates on this project. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Check out some other cool projects in these videos below. And I'll catch you guys next time.
Good job! Is he going? Oh my gosh!
Okay.